this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to your new Jackrabbit Illustrated B-Team spin-off show.
Scared money don't make money.
That's right, folks. Scared money don't make money. The spin-off show from the B-Team with Ben and Brendan making their picks against the spread just like old times, with the addition of Alex Kenkel and his computer model that is featured weekly on JackrabbitIllustrated.com. As usual, the B-Team and all Jackrabbit Illustrated podcasts are live on the Jackrabbit Illustrated Facebook and Twitter pages, along with being live on the FCS Fans Nation YouTube channel. Also, if you don't catch us live, be sure to tune in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or any major podcast outlet in between. As always, the B-Team is brought to you by our title sponsor, Kubota Dealers of South Dakota. If you need a tractor, utility vehicle, construction equipment, zero-turn motors, parts, service, and more, there's always a Kubota dealer near you with 8 locations across the great state of South Dakota. Stop in today and get yourself into some orange equipment. And we would also like to thank our segment sponsor, Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Brookings. If the Jacks are out of town, you need a place to watch them. Head on down, get some Chislic cheese curds, beer, and burgers. And now, without further ado, scared money don't make money.
Ben just pulling in on time here. He's not on. There he is. Boy, you just right under the wire, huh? You were hoofing it from ye old Culvers of Brookings and Watertown, even though they're not a show sponsor. Scared money don't make money. I mean, you were getting it in where you're supposed to.
Yeah, and the reason that I was there was, unfortunately, you can't just buy Scoopy tokens, but you can buy Culver's gift cards. So debt has been paid. Well, as soon as I give these to you, it's the value of 10 Scoopy tokens and a Butterburger.
Yes, excellent. I'll count it, I guess, if I have to. It would have been more fun to make you figure out how to con your way into some Scoopy tokens. So how did that conversation go?
The guy, he was new, and he goes, I don't think you can do that. He's like, well, you can buy 10 Happy Meals. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. Or not Happy Meals, whatever, kids' meals, the Culver's versions of Happy Meals. But
I really thought that the worker would just be like, buy a meal and I'll give you some Scoopy tokens. Like, I didn't think they were going to be that just rigid.
Buy one and we'll throw some extras in there for you.
Right.
Yeah, no. They told me to buy some gift cards.
It's the best news I've heard all day. Thank you. You know, I finally will stop harassing you about it again, I guess.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it.
You know, it's only been a year, you know, so it's fine.
Hey, debt's been paid.
That's what matters. That is what matters. You might have another debt coming up, though, the way these picks are going.
Yeah, they did not go so well for me. I was on a pretty good streak. That ended. I went 1-5. You guys didn't do too good either. You went 2-4, both of you. The model redeemed itself, went 4-2. I am firmly in last place by a couple wins to the model. Brandon's ahead of the model by 1 win. And then Alex is ahead of Brendan by 3 wins. So I've still got some work to do. Yes, Michael, you guys.
Michael's sweet Victory. Vengeance. He is
spiking the ball on Ben.
Yep, dance on his grave.
Hey, the model believed in you, and it paid off for the model. All right. Well, should we jump into, or does Alex? You didn't get to give your thoughts on the market game. The market game is a big deal. You were pretty certain of what was going to happen in the market game. How do you feel after it?
Well, I almost feel like I jinxed us because the exact opposite of what I said was going to happen.
That's very true.
Happened. I don't know. That was a tough physical game. I don't have a ton of new thoughts that you guys didn't. Passing offense wasn't great. What is the culprit of that? It's probably split three ways between coaches, receivers, and Mark, and the line a little bit too. Have to be better this week. We'll talk about that. And just a lot of close moments I sent to you guys in the group chat, and I'm not trying to dog Mark because I love Mark and the Gronowski family, and I'm sure Mark is even more sick than I am, but I didn't have a great view of the Stoffel overthrow. And it looked kind of like, tight coverage, missed him high. Then I saw the broadcast angle, and it made me sick. But that whole series of plays was really where you guys were there too. You kind of felt the air leave our side a little bit, and it was just first down, run for no gain. Okay, that happens. Second down was that overthrow. Third down, we run a nice draw, and I say this as a member of the Football Officiating Brotherhood, although evidently not a very good one because I'm not working a playoff game right now. But that hold, I don't remember who was in a left guard in that series, if it was Viber or Packy. But either way, there's that holding call on that draw was horrible. He drove him to the ground. It does not matter where your hands are if you kick the guy's ass. And I'll leave that at that. And then the Goring catch, no catch happens. I understand why people are worked up about that. I also understood why it was called how it was on the field and the expedited replay held up. And then we had two more chances, one on offense and defensive piece, and didn't get it done. And that's okay. That's the way it goes sometimes. We'll hopefully get another shot and be better.
Perfect. You filled for exactly the right amount of time so I could finish putting together JIAI. So thank you for that.
So, Mike, yeah, it is. I think we knew it was going to be a tough road for you guys because from where Murray State was, he said, for people who are listening on the podcast version, Mike says, I have no idea how hard it is going from a shitty team in a shitty league to becoming a shitty team in a very good league. We've improved so much and nobody realizes it. I think we realize, how far you guys had to go to get to the Valley's level, and you just still have a ways to go, and that's okay. I mean, as long as you're getting better, don't go the Western Illinois route and then just swirl the toilet bowl. But as long as the admin and the school keeps pushing to get better, you'll get there eventually. I mean, at least a middling team, and that'll be all right. I'm down for that. I think that's what everybody wants for you guys. So that'd be good. Rev, thank you. It is a sick jersey. It does come. I mean, this is a big one. They actually have a new one. They come out with a new one of these every year for SDSU. I'm not going to promote where because it's not at Jackrabbits Illustrated, one of our sponsors, but they have a new style every year. I just went and looked to see if I could find the blue one from last year for the blue out this weekend. I couldn't, but I stumbled upon this year's version, which if you are looking for some blackout swag, it is pretty sick for that. It's basically an all black version of this with the SD logo on it. It's pretty cool. Anyways, that's just kind of out of my random thoughts. Since you have JIAI ready, which is obviously brought to you by Cubby Sports Bar and Grill of Brookings, South Dakota, the place to go in Brookings. If the Jacks are out of town and you want a place to watch a game, go to Cubby Sports Bar and Grill for any of the Jackrabbit action. Volleyball, if you're trying to catch that, they've got that there. They've got all the sports. I'm fairly certain this is true, and I'm not putting them under the gun. They do show all the sports, I'm fairly certain, on the TVs there. So any occasion, and there's usually a sport going at this time of year every day of the week, head on down there to Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. This this weekend is going to be a fantastic day. If you have tickets to the game, they're going to get you into 3 events. So you've got a lot of Cubby's time available there between the games with the 1 o'clock volleyball game. You could go to Cubby's, get lunch, go to the volleyball game with your football ticket, get done with that, tailgate, go to the football game, go to Cubby's for the night ending drinks. Then the next day, your ticket gets you into the soccer match, so you can go back to Cubby's for lunch again, go to the soccer match, go to Cubby's for supper, and then go. And I don't see anything wrong with that plan. So Cubby Sports Bar and Grill in Brookings, South Dakota, they've got you covered.
I do plan.
Hi, Jamie.
I plan on going to the volleyball game. It would be cool if so many people want to go to the volleyball game that they have to turn people away, which is honestly a possibility with the time it is, and having
There's
free
potential.
tickets to the volleyball game and how the volleyball team's been doing. But we'll see.
Well,
yeah,
if you look at it, the volleyball game's at 1, right?
yeah, it's perfect.
So tailgating opens at 1:30. You know, you miss out on maybe an hour, especially if you show up early for the volleyball game and just get your spot and set up
Mhm.
and then go to the volleyball game and come back. I mean, that is spoiling for a big attendance mark for that game.
What time is the soccer game Sunday? I already looked it up and forgot already. But I'm probably gonna try to, if the kids are down for naps or if they're awake, take the stroller and as close as I live to the Fishback, take a jog over there probably and check it out.
Well, with how much been talking about the volleyball team being great this year, and they have been, the soccer team is really good year over year over year.
Mhm.
Correct.
This is the conference finale at 1 p.m. It's against Oral
what I
Roberts. So
Nice.
they are, they got to be close to first. Oh no, they lost
I
to
haven't-
Denver, so they're
So I haven't
probably
looked in a while.
farther down than normal in the standings, but they could use a good crowd to get them going.
For sure.
I just wanted to make sure we shouted those ladies out too for what time that event was. So
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. We must be doing something right if we got Jamie Williams to tune in.
Right. He probably lost a bet. So now he's like, fine, I'll watch it this week, guys. I'll tell you what they say. Whoa. Hey. Whoa.
Oh,
Hey, shots fired.
fired.
I pay my fine. You are paying the bills. You pay the bills now. Keep that
made
money
your
to
bed,
yourself.
Ariel.
Wait till you see how sick our tailgate rig's going to be next year. This is great.
I love
It's
it.
going to be wild.
All right. Let's quick recap the games from last week. We had Rhode Island with a
Jesus
pretty
Christ,
big-
Jamie.
pretty big win over UNH, 27-9, covering Illinois State, barely beating Murray State. Murray State looked pretty good in that one. Missouri State continuing their run, 46-21. They did not cover though, barely, which I guess we all picked that. We all picked Indiana State to cover anyway, but USD beat Youngstown State only by 10. That was a little bit surprising. If you ask them, they probably were looking ahead to SDSU and kind of didn't care too much about that game and knew they were going to win. But I guess, Alex, you maybe had some thoughts on that game.
I think that's probably fair. I do know some of their fan base was also saying, it wasn't as close as the scoreboard would indicate, which I also don't think is completely unfair. But that's also a 10-point win against a team that's not very good. And the thing you have to be, and we'll get more into this as we get our predictions, obviously, but the thing you have to be concerned about for them is Brungard went for 91 gross on 12 carries. I mean, that's not setting off alarm bells for another big week of Chase Mason. I don't know what else is, but once again, we'll get to that when we get there.
Perfect. And then we had UND taking care of UNI 31-7. And then NDSU winning 13-9 and covering against SDSU. With that, let's move right into JIAI to recap that. Oh, I don't want to screw this up. Hang on. It should be easier than it is.
To post stuff on
It's true.
StreamYard. I know when we did that conference preview, you guys saw how bad I struggled at that.
It's not as easy as you think it would be.
We will have no Hawk 2 nonsense in this chat, Rev.
We will not.
Yeah, we'll pick their game later, Ref.
Oh, this is a sad week of JIAI.
Yes, it is quite sad.
It was a tough week for you.
The Jacks lost, and I
Market
did
game.
not pick well at all.
You picked terrible. The Vikings lose on a game-ending field goal.
Oh yeah, everything went bad. Even Del Rapids lost the hometown football team, so it was all bad. The so Rhode Island won, and what I
Is that
typed in
supposed to be
was
Sean and Joe?
What is this?
I typed in a very large and a very small, two podcasters, one very large, one very small. This is what it came up with. But
I mean, Joe's not that small, but
he's not
Oh my-
big.
What is this?
Anyway. Okay,
I mean,
didn't
he's
have
small compared to Sean, but Sean's a huge dude.
normally normally
Jesus
normally I
Christ.
would have refined it a little more, but I didn't have time. So this is what
You just left him Asian?
yes.
I wasn't
Yes.
going to bring that up.
That's the problem here. It's not the size difference that's the problem.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's also a problem because it looks like it's
Well,
a dad and son.
The son
You should-
doesn't have his
you
Harry
should have
Potter
said-
glasses on.
Tiny Harry Potter and
Yeah.
large person.
I'll see what I can do
Podcast.
to redeem that one. Somebody will have to clip this and send it to him. We had the Redbirds tripping up the horses, and apparently one of his legs fell off. We had the Bears tearing apart the trees. We had this one got a little graphic. The Coyotes tearing into the
Why-
Penguins.
Why does it look like the Penguins enjoying it?
I don't know. He's a
They're
glutton
masochists
for
at this
punishment.
point if you're showing up to a Youngstown game. Sorry, guys, if you're listening.
That's tough. We had the postal workers kicking the Panthers. I don't know why that Panther's so big. And then we had the Bison winning their Super Bowl. I only did this because it's what they said to us for years and years and years. So I had to do it.
You know, some things do have to be sent back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Return to sender.
All right. Well, with that, let's move on to this week's picks.
And before that, we have one more segment sponsor to thank.
Oh, we do.
Blue Tide Car Wash
Like
of
car
Brookings.
wash.
Brookings, Sioux Falls, and soon to be, I don't know if it's done yet, maybe it is, in Mitchell. It's got to be getting close. Plus all the get and go locations across town. Get an unlimited package from Blue Tide Car Wash. It will keep your rig nice and pretty for you, nice and shiny. Always get the wax on there, and it pays for itself in like 2 washes. And it's not hard to wash your car more than twice in a month, really. If you're, especially when it doesn't cost you anything to run through, you just zip through. I think I've washed my truck like 6 times this month, especially being on the gravel road. So get yourself Blue Tide Car Wash membership today. That is the way to take care of your car, get all the bugs off. If they don't get all the bugs off, they'll run you back through and make sure they come off this time. So go down to Blue Tide Car Wash today. Near
Perfect.
you.
Well, with that, let's go right on into this week's picks. We've got Western Carolina going to Mercer, who, I mean, Mercer was touting like the best defense in the FCS, and something happened. Granted, it sounds like they had a lot of turnovers, a lot of bad positions on the field, but you don't give up that many points. I don't remember what the score of that game was. It was like
It's
50
something to not a lot.
55
Well, actually-
is what Samford had.
Is that
and
many?
Mercer had 40
Like-
some points. It was closer than you think.
Yeah, I was to say they ended up getting
Oh, that's
pretty
right. They
close.
came back. That's when I
Yeah,
turned
they stormed
it off.
back. Yeah, it was like they scored 40 some points in the first half. They went from the vaunted unbelievable defense to what the hell happened in that game. Like that was their offense sounds like kept putting them in bad spots, which doesn't help. But even so, that defense giving up that many points is stunning.
Yeah, and what's real interesting now is you got Western Carolina coming into town. They have a pretty good offense themselves. It'll be interesting to see if Mercer can get back on track with their defense. Mercer is an 8-point favorite at home. I'm going to trust that Mercer gets their defense back on track, and I will take them to win by more than 8.
Model says Bears by 8.69, so it is going to agree, Ben. It's going to say Mercer bounces back in this one. I don't know. I think Mercer probably wins the game, but I like Western Carolina to cover. Western Carolina's got good offense. Cole Gonzalez, really, really good quarterback. I don't know if we've talked about Western Carolina yet this year or not, but, he's highly touted.
When we played Montana, we did.
Okay, yep. So we talked about it then. He's highly touted and for good reason. I think Mercer bounces back and gets the win and keeps their kind of clawing back to the top of the SoCon alive. But I think Gonzalez will keep it closer than 8.
Sorry, I had to clear my throat a little bit there.
Sure, that's what you're doing.
I'm with you, Alex. I'm with you, Alex. But I think Mercer will will win in the end because Gonzalez is going to get picked off a couple times. He's just a little loose with the ball for my liking, but also that Mercer offense is just awful. They're just awesome. They're awesome. Awful. They're bad. They have a very bad offense.
No,
I'm getting at.
No pinche bueno.
Not good. Yeah. That's the SoCon being the SoCon. But yeah, I think it'll be, a 3 to 7 point game. Western Carolina is able to hang. If not, I would not be stunned if they win it. But I'm going to go ahead and take Western Carolina. Jamie agrees with me. So
as does Kevin.
That's a good sign. I'd like to change my pick, but I will.
I'll stick with it.
I'll ride with it. The first Valley game of the week is I hate this line. It's Southern Illinois is favored by 12 at Indiana State. Southern Illinois has looked so bad that I'm going to take Indiana State to cover 12 at home. I think they keep it, I don't know if they'll win, but I think they keep it within 10 or 7.
I think what happened here is Ben actually read by the numbers for once this week in his COVID.
I honestly didn't
pick in lockstep with the model because the model says Salukis by 8.97. I don't know. I'm fence sitting that like you wouldn't believe just because SIU's defense has been up and down, but was solid against NDSU, and I think could be solid against Indiana State. They don't have a lot of skill outside of their quarterback, Gavin Screws. But SIU's offense is just so bad. So they might win the game, and it might be by 7. So I guess I talked myself into it. I'll agree with Ben in the model. I will take the Salukis. Or the Trees, sorry. Trees to cover.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Trees as well. They've hung with the middling teams like Youngstown or middling to bad teams like Youngstown and whatnot. So I'm going to take them since they're at home to hang within 10. Taking all the underdogs so far.
Yeah. So we all took Indiana State on that one, which is weird. That's 2 weeks in a row.
We've all took Indiana State.
All picked Indiana State. It paid off last week, so we'll see what happens this week. Then we've got NDSU is a whopping 36-point favorite at Murray State. NDSU coming off the win against SDSU. Had a couple big injuries if you haven't seen. Cole Payton and Sam Young are out for the rest of the season.
Oscar Benson's going to miss some significant time too.
There you go. I am torn on this one. Murray, Michael, are you gonna do it for us? He says you will never learn. I haven't even picked yet, man. That's interesting logic. NDSU's never won at Murray.
So it's true.
It's factually correct.
I love it. Man, I think NDSU kind of coast in this one. I'll take Murray State to cover barely.
Model says Bison by 32.1, so it is also picking Murray to cover once again.
Man, the model and I are going to have a great week.
Hey,
Ben's
Mike,
being coy.
good
He
teams
just
win, great teams cover,
taking
buddy.
off the model. I actually will agree though. Like 36 is a lot, especially Bison are coming off a physical game, and they're looking at it intentionally or otherwise, saying after that game, oh thank gosh we got Murray. Must be nice. Cough cough. Missouri Valley, fix your scheduling. Cough cough. Shouldn't have to. If you're one of only two teams in the conference with two rivals, you shouldn't have to play them back to back 5 weeks in a row. We're going to get way off track if we go down
5 years in a row. We've gone. If you want to go on I've got the timer.
No, we're not getting the
You want
timer.
the timer?
Um,
Got the timer.
I think Racers still win by 4 scores. Or Bison. Yeah, upset of the century. Racers win by 4 scores. I think Bison still win by 4 scores, but Racers cover. I like the way Jaden Johansson's been playing the past couple weeks. Got to give shout out to the South Dakota kid playing well down there. So
Yeah, NDC's going to win. That's a no doubter. I do think they come out slow. Like the marker hangover will be a real thing for them this year. Just looking at the injuries and whatnot that they did sustain. There's a little bit of an emotional letdown after a close big win. You finally win after in the sixth try, after losing for 5 years in a row on the road. It's just a mixture for what they would call is a underwhelming win, but they'll win anyways. But it's not. I don't think they win by 36. Line. Oh my God.
Beth saying if I had $1 for every time Alex has brought up the back-to-back rival scheduling this week, I'd be able to pay my own Cubbies tab. I love it.
So at least
All
10
right.
times.
So we all took Murray State there. Is that what happened?
Yeah,
again, yep.
they did.
All
Perfect.
took Murray and all took the trees this week. What a week.
Yeah, the apocalypse is about to happen. We all took the trees and Murray. Oh my God.
Yeah, this is a scared money don't make money first. That's for sure. I'll guarantee that. Then you got Missouri State continuing their tear through the Missouri Valley schedule. They go to UNI. Missouri State is a 15-point road favorite. I got to go with Missouri State here. They're playing good football. UNI is not. So I'll take Missouri State. And I like this line quite a bit, actually, even though it's at 15.
Model says Bears by 11.3, so it's going to disagree, Ben. I, however, will agree.
I didn't just
I know. I think hot take of the century coming in hot. I think Jacob Clark's playing like I wrote that in the article. So I think Jacob Clark's playing like a little bit of a dark horse Walter Payton candidate the last couple weeks. Now, am I saying he's at the same level as what Cam Miller and Tommy Mellott are right now? Absolutely not. But if those guys put out a couple stinkers, and which probably won't happen, but if they were to, and Clark keeps playing at the level he is, and they upset us or NDSU, all of a sudden that's a real conversation. So they've gotten more balanced on offense. They're still. I do not love Missouri State, Jamie. Oh my gosh,
He does. He does. He loves Missouri State. He's got a closet on Maroon.
But they've gotten more balanced the last couple weeks for like the first time since like 2020 or 2021. They've had back-to-back 120 plus rushing games. I like them a lot to go into the Unidome and win by at least 15.
Yeah, I hate to agree with you again. I'm going to take the Bears on this one. This is a rivalry. This used to be a rivalry. Um,
Really?
yes, this used to be a rivalry. You and I, friends, I have talk about Bear Week. I don't know how up they're going to get for it, man. They just are. Man, it's tough at you and I hesitantly take the Bears here. I just don't see them having the kick in them to make it happen. So give me Missouri State to cover. I hate that it's 15. I wish it was like 14
12.
or 13 and a half because I think 2 touchdowns is fairly predictable. Missouri State this year just has a habit of like, no, man. Yeah, I'll take Missouri State.
Perfect. In the last Valley game before ours, we've got UND going to Youngstown State, and UND is a 15.5-point road favorite. I'll take UND in this one again. That's a lot of road favorites I've taken. Well, only 2, I guess, but 2 is maybe too many. But yeah, I got faith in UND. I think they keep it rolling. They've had a pretty easy schedule since their game against NDSU, so I think they'll be ready to go for this one.
Model says Postal Service by 8.63, so it's going to take the Penguins to cover
by a lot.
And I kind of lean in that way too. It's on the road. Grant, we talked about how the Oats were probably looking ahead a little bit, but they played okay run defense last week. As much as we've struggled to be one-dimensional, it has kind of helped UND's one-dimensional struggles get swept under the rug because, granted, they have the excuse of a freshman quarterback, but they have been even more one-dimensional than we have. So I think Youngstown can kind of make this ugly, and I don't think Youngstown wins, but I think they can make UND's offense ugly enough that even if Youngstown isn't putting up points, UND's not scoring enough to win by 15.
I cannot catch up to you if you keep picking the teams that I want to pick. I am also going to take Penguins because A, like we talked about, it's on the road. B, it's the furthest road trip in the Valley. C, UND has not been impressive outside of the Alaris Center all year. So
or ever.
Give me more. I mean, ever historically, they're historically bad on the road. But yeah, give me the Fighting Chili Willies, as Jamie says. Man, you get him and the Rev in the same chat room, and they're just goons. Oh my god.
I like it though. Last but not least, we've got USD coming to Brookings, and SDSU is a 6.5-point home favorite. I see SDSU bouncing back here. I think they've got a bad taste in their mouth. I think Gronowski is going to be out to prove something. I think they're going to want to get that passing game going. And I just think that our defense is too good for the Yotes offense. Granted, the Yotes do have good offense, but I think our defense makes it really tough on teams when they stop the run and then they have to rely on the pass. I mean, look at the game against NDSU. Cam Miller had to go 7 for 7 on that last drive to beat us. And, credit to him, he did it. Will Aiden Bauman be able to do the same thing? I don't know. And will USD be able to stop SDSU on offense like NDSU did? I don't know. So I will take SDSU to cover. I think we win by 13 or 14.
Ben stole a lot of my talking points, but like I kind of talked about at the opening, with no Nick Gase in the lineup last week at Youngstown, USD did seem a little permeable. He's listed as a DN, but he kind of plays more of like a 3-eye 5-tech in that kind of 3-3-5 they play. And he really is a really big anchor on the strong side of their run defense. And if he can't go, that is huge for us being able to pick up some yards on the ground. I also saw somewhere where I forget where I was listening to something, and they said Gary Bryant might be nicked up. I haven't seen anywhere to corroborate that, so I doubt that's true, but that would be huge because he is – I talked about it with these guys in the group chat, but Gary Bryant and Jimmy talked about in his made deal this week. He's playing at all-American level at Mike linebacker. They leave him one-on-one, both in coverage and run fits all the time, and he makes the play. So we're going to need our skill guys, whether that's receivers, tight ends, running backs. They're going to have some wiggle. All that said, once again, is piggyback off what Ben said. I think we're out to prove a point. I think if this is like 8.5, 9, I kind of fence at that a little more, but 6.5, I think we cover that, at least a touchdown. And I didn't give the model pick. I just realized before I started rambling. Model says Jacks by 9.02, so the model will also pick the Jacks.
All right. Well, this is a segment that I promised after Zena was given some gifts at tailgating at the last home game. So it is Zena picks the Jacks game. So if we may have the bunnies, we have a pink bunny and a blue bunny. Pink bunny's bad guys, blue bunny, good guys. And so we are going to set them in front of Zena, and we will see which one she goes for, and that's who she's picking if Mom starts putting attention on her or getting her attention. This is not going well. Hey, this here. No, that's gone now. That's gone now. You got to pick one of these. This is going well. This is
going swimmingly. Not that Charlie would be doing much better. But...
Oh, we picked one. She didn't fully grab it, but she picked one. Which one? This one? She picked the Yotes.
Oh.
She's taking the Yotes to cover. That's what she picked.
Not to win, though. To cover.
Not to win, just to cover, of course. So that is Zena's picks. It's a highly anticipated segment that all of our fans that nobody was asking for. That's not true. The Gronowskis were asking for it, so you got to give it to them.
What you need to do, I've done this when my kids were young with fantasy football drafts, is you get like treats and you just kind of label them. And then so she can like pick one and then whichever one is labeled. Yeah, that we'll improve that segment.
I'll hide some dog treats in them next time so she can sniff them out.
Dog
Ben's kids are grown up. He doesn't remember it.
Anyways. They don't know they're dog treats if you don't tell them. Anyways, CPS is going to come get me now. No, she will not. We don't need to have that conversation. Anyways,
that we really need the timer up for that.
Yeah, no, we don't need to go into why that's a no. And it actually has nothing to do with sports fandom. But anyways, on this week, on this game, man, they're deep. I do believe they're good. I believe they're a very good team.
Sure.
I do very much believe they are capable of having very close games with the Jacks and NDSU when they're down there and put up more than a capable fight. Their offense, I think, will be more capable of putting up more points because I don't think they'll be happy with what NDSU and what the marker game was like. They're not going to be, I don't think they're going to be relaxed enough to sit there in a slugfest and feel confident enough to put up points. I think they're going to have an open playbook right away and put up a couple more points. I'm not saying they're going to put tons of, points up or anything. I absolutely guarantee they will score touchdowns. That's going to happen. So we can kiss the no touchdown streak goodbye. That offense is too good. They're going to put up at least one touchdown, possibly two. Thing that scares me is their defense is better at rushing the passer than NDSU's is.
and they are statistically better against the run. Now, statistically, the whole
played-
season, NDSU is much improved, but
They also haven't played very many good rush offenses.
right. But that being said, I think this ends up being a 3-point game at the end. I do think we pull it out, but I'm going to take the Yotes to cover in this one. So I'm going to go and say that they're going to, yeah. And like Rev says, if it was in Vermilion, I'd probably pick them probably to win outright. Honestly, the way the offense looked last game, but it is in Brookings, so I'm going to take us to cover on this, or not to cover, but I'm going to take us to win. I'm going to take the Yotes to cover. However, this is going to be another close, hard-fought game. I mean, it's 3 versus 4, so that's the way it's supposed to be.
Jamie's looking to fight tonight, I see.
Yeah, Jamie's going to get his house burned down. That's a real shame. I hope you had good insurance.
Jamie, I'm giving you the biggest kick in the shins in Frisco, and you're not going to remember why.
Yeah, hopefully
I'm going to put one of those big black paper clips right on his nuts.
Jesus.
I wasn't going
Hopefully-
that far.
Hopefully
Yeah.
the SDSU defense was listening. Brendan said that the touchdown streak is going to end, or the no touchdown streak is going to end.
That offense is going to score points. I'm just trying to prep everybody so they're not losing their minds when it happens. Like, that's a very good offense, very capable offense.
We'll see.
Now
Before we
he's being
go,
a shit stir.
I have to finish up JIAI. I am so glad that you guys forced me to redo the Joe and Sean
Oh gosh.
because
We got to clip both of these and send them to them.
this might be the greatest JIAI creation I have ever made.
Really,
I'm very
You are-
excited about it.
this is a ridiculous build-up for this. This better be good.
It's Joe and Sean.
That is perfect.
That's amazing. Oh, it's so good. See, why couldn't you done that before?
Hey, I told you if I had more time, I would have refined it. This is the refined version.
This is incredible. Yes, this needs to be that. They need to pay you for this to be their logo for Hack City. That's what they need. That is
This is the quality garage time
unbelievable.
content. people
I
come here
really hope this makes it into their
You're a
their
podcaster,
intro.
Joe. That's incredible. They should. Oh my god, they should go as Hagrid and Harry Potter.
Oh, that'd be a great Halloween costume.
They
for
had
them.
that. They had that conversation on one of their shows.
Did they?
Those goobers should be their Halloween costumes. Hagrid and Harry. That's a no-brainer.
Well, here's their inspiration right here. Here's how good
Yeah.
it would look. And this, I feel like this
Joe,
is
so
to
Joe-
scale. This
with
is
Joe, the way he's
accurate.
grown his hair out, and I know he doesn't listen, and I wish he did because I want to say this to him, but he doesn't look as much like Harry Potter anymore. Now he looks like Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy's illegitimate love child.
Man, we are going into Harry Potter fanboy territory.
Going in on these poor guys, and they don't even listen. We'll clip it and send it to them. So
So
that
he'll
they
clip
know
it and send it in the
know
Twitter
that we're
DMs.
talking shit. Yeah.
Perfect. To finish it out, here are my predictions. Like I said, Jax, throw Yotes off the cliff and hunt him down, take him home as a trophy. And that is what we had for JIAI.
That is beautiful. Well
Yeah.
done. You at first I thought it couldn't get any worse, but you totally redeemed yourself.
I am very proud of that, honestly. I am.
Yeah. Wear blue. It's a blue out. That's why I'm wearing
Yes.
this tonight, because I wanted to wear it. And I was like, I gotta wear blue. So
Definitely wear blue. Anything else before we take off?
nope.
Perfect.
Tailgate opens at
we'll
1:30. We'll see everybody there.
see everybody at the
Yeah.
volleyball game and then the
Yeah, see you at
tailgate.
the volleyball game.
And
Oh yeah,
then
volleyball game beforehand. Totally
and then
spaced that already.
the night
Burley-Borough.
football game, which should be a blast. 6:30, wear blue. As Jim says, as we always say, go big, go blue, go Jacks.
Go Jacks.
Go Jacks.